The vibes in Lemny Hollow are seriously off because of this miasma stuff that will not clear up. It is basically a super toxic ether that is messing with the air quality big time, and the mayor is yapping about it, clearly in over his head and needing someone to come clean up the mess. It turns out the whole miasma situation is way worse than just some natural seepage. A group of edgelords called the Exaltists are out here using the toxic ether to cook up actual monsters. They are basically turning the Hollow into their personal, deeply unethical science lab, and it is getting out of hand. Just when you think things could not get more complicated, the military decides to roll in. A dude named Major General Lorenz is now running the show in Waif Peninsula, supposedly to handle the Exaltists. But low-key, everyone knows he's just there for the power grab and porcelain money. The plot thickens because this General Lorenz is apparently besties with Lucro, the other big boss at Porcelumax. It is giving major corporate military collusion vibes. They are basically teaming up to carve out their piece of the pie while pretending to be the heroes of the story. The mayor basically throws his hands up and says, "I can't make any moves without starting a whole turf war." So who does he call? You, Phaethon, the Legendary Proxy. It is officially main character time. You are being sent in as a special envoy to work with the defense force and fix this. While you are on this whole Save the World mission, you are also on a personal side quest to find your teacher, Miss Carol Ara. The mayor gives you the green light to investigate on the down low, as long as it does not mess with the main operation. Two birds, one extremely dangerous mission. We get hit with a flashback to a seriously traumatic event from the past. A squad called Agamemnon is getting absolutely wrecked by a Hollow invasion. It is intense and brutal, giving us a glimpse into the backstory that shaped some of these characters, especially the squad's captain. We properly meet Captain Magus and Orphe of Oval Squad. Magus is the classic no-nonsense, hardened leader, while Orphe is her more chill subordinate who has to listen to all the lectures. Their dynamic is immediately clear. One is all business, the other just wants to vibe through the chaos. It is briefing time, and Colonel Asalda is laying out the game plan to raid the Exaltists' stronghold. The strategy is to send in elite squads for recon first, and surprise, surprise, Oval Squad is up to bat. The entire mission's success pretty much hinges on them. No pressure or anything. The squad gets the news that they are getting a special guest from the city government to help out. One of the members, Trigger, hypes you up as this super capable and trustworthy friend. The rest of the squad is a mix of curious and skeptical about this mystery helper. The big reveal, you, the proxy, finally meet Oval Squad. Captain Magus is immediately suspicious, grilling you about your underworld background. She makes it crystal clear that she expects you to follow her rules and not get in the way of their mission. The tension is palpable. Magus is not playing around and lays down the law. She straight up tells you she does not care if you are a hero or a villain, as long as you are not a liability. She warns that if your personal goals clash with the Defense Force's principles, there will be serious problems. It is a classic "I'm watching you" moment. Your official role is defined. You are the expert Hollow guide. Your job is to chart the safest and most efficient routes, while Oval Squad provides the muscle and cover. One of the members doubts if a non-combat proxy can handle it, but Soldier 11's high praise for you shuts them down. The first operation kicks off, and things immediately get messy with signal interference causing communication issues. The squad gets split up and has to fight through waves of enemies just to regroup. It is a chaotic start that proves this mission is not going to be a walk in the park. You get a chance to show off your tech skills by hacking into some weird Exaltist devices. The squad is genuinely impressed, with one member joking about you hacking their brain next. You are quickly proving that you are more than just a guide. you are a full-on tech wizard. The squad finds a bunch of ominous-looking ether reactors made by Porcelumax, the same company that is supposedly helping the city. This discovery just confirms how deep the corruption goes, directly linking the corporation to the monster-making experiments happening in the Hollows. You run into Seed, another member of Oval Squad, and his mech, who he calls Seed Senior. It turns out Seed Senior is an intelligent construct, not just a machine. You immediately vibe with their unique way of communicating, which further cements your place with the squad's more eccentric members. After clearing out the enemy outpost, you realize the Exaltists have already dipped, taking all the important data and supplies with them. They likely used spatial fissures to make a quick escape. But you are the master of hollows, so you are confident you can track them down. After capturing an Exaltist, the squad's different philosophies come to a head. Magus is ready to go full force on all of them, no questions asked. Others argue that many were just innocent civilians who were tricked. You step in, suggesting a more nuanced approach is needed. The stakes get astronomically higher. You find intel revealing there are over 300 Obscura devices scattered throughout Waif Peninsula. These things are basically monster incubators waiting to pop. The scale of the threat is suddenly way bigger than anyone imagined, and the entire military might not be enough. You provide a crucial piece of analysis that offers a small glimmer of hope. Creating that many powerful sacrifice monsters would require an insane amount of ether, probably more than the Exaltists actually have. This suggests that not all the Obscura are active, yet. Back at the base, Colonel Asalda debriefs the squad on their successful mission. However, she is deeply worried about the Obscura threat. Recognizing your unique skills, she assigns you to help with the search, trusting your expertise over just throwing military bodies at the problem. You and Magus have another tense clash. She straight up calls you a villain and questions your motives, but Colonel Asalda steps in to play mediator. You manage to find some common ground, with Magus begrudgingly admitting that your support was actually useful. The frenemy arc is in full swing. Magus hits you with the hard questions, asking how many innocent people you have led into danger as a proxy. You fire right back, asking if the respectable world and the oh-so-perfect defense force are really any better. It is a heated debate about morality in their messed-up world. Major General Lorenz, the big boss, summons you for a meeting, and it is as sketchy as it sounds. He is dismissive and arrogant, clearly seeing you as just an annoyance from the mayor's office. He does not trust you and wants you to stay out of his military business. In a classic power move, Lorenz orders that all of your external communications and movements be restricted until the operation is over. You are basically under house arrest in Phylum Heights. He is trying to sideline you so you cannot interfere with his and Lucro's shady plans. The squad is tasked with enforcing your house arrest, and they feel pretty bad about it. They try to make light of the situation, calling you the Legendary Proxy who finally got caught. But underneath the jokes, it is clear they do not agree with the Major General's orders at all. Despite being seen as a villain in Magus's eyes, you take the restrictions with surprising grace. You tell them you understand they are just following orders and that your temporary lockdown is for the greater good of the mission. This earns you a bit of grudging respect from the captain. But you are not just going to sit there and do nothing. Your AI assistants, Bell and Fairy, easily help you bypass the military's signal jamming. You are still connected to the outside world and can run calculations and analyze data from the Hollow. The lockdown is barely an inconvenience for an elite hacker. The situation takes a horrifying turn. A Defense Force recon team gets ambushed by zombie-like figures wearing their own uniforms, crawling out of the miasma. It is a gruesome new development, confirming the Exaltists are not just making monsters, they are weaponizing the dead. Asalda is sharp and immediately realizes the Exaltists knew they were coming. She suspects someone in their ranks acted outside her command and tipped them off. All signs are pointing to Major General Lorenz making his own moves, complicating the entire operation and putting everyone at risk. With their plans seemingly exposed, the leadership decides to accelerate the raid. They have to strike now before the Exaltists can fully prepare for the assault. Magus agrees with the aggressive new approach, ready to lead Oval Squad straight into the fire. You voice your suspicions about the Defense Force's intel, arguing that the Exaltists are too slippery to be pinned down this easily. But Magus has unwavering, almost blind faith in Colonel Asalda. She reveals that they are old comrades and that Asalda basically created Oval Squad from the ground up. Oval Squad raids the supposed Exaltist main base, only to find another squad already there. These are Lorenz's personal troops, the same ones who tipped off the enemy in the first place. They completely messed up the ambush, letting the Exaltist leaders escape. Magus is absolutely furious. While cleaning up the now empty base, the squad runs into Major General Lorenz himself, who is casually meeting with Lucro from Porcelumax. They are not even trying to hide their shady dealings anymore. They are openly collaborating right in the middle of a supposed war zone. Magus and Orphe have a moment where they vent about how incredibly annoying and corrupt Lorenz and Lucro are. You, the proxy, explain the obvious. They are here to divvy up the spoils of war. It is a grim reminder that this conflict is as much about profit as it is about saving the city. In a move of pure audacity, Lorenz throws a massive victory celebration, declaring the Exaltist threat completely wiped out. It is a total sham. You and the squad know that key leaders are still at large, and the Obscura are still a massive, unaddressed problem. This is just a PR stunt. The squad notices that Colonel Asalda is conspicuously absent from the victory party. The official story is that she is unwell and resting, but they suspect she is just avoiding the fake festivities. Her absence feels significant, like she knows something is deeply wrong with the situation. You arrange a secret meeting with Damien, a guy from Porcelumax who is being squeezed out by the new Lucro-Lorenz alliance. He spills all the tea on their corrupt activities, confirming that they are purging anyone from the company who is not loyal to their new regime. He is terrified and seeking your protection. A new player enters the game, Miss Jiao, from the Krampus Compliance Authority. She is basically corporate internal affairs for the entire city, and she has been sent to investigate Porcelumax for breaking the rules. Her presence means the powers that be are finally noticing Lucro's mess. In a quiet, vulnerable moment, Orphe reveals the shocking truth about her and Magus to you. Orphe is actually a clone of the original Magus, a legendary soldier who died 11 years ago. The captain's consciousness is now stored in her weapon, which Orphe wields. Orphe confesses her deep-seated insecurities about being a clone, feeling like she stole Magus's life and identity. But she explains that Magus has always encouraged her to live her own life. This deep, tragic bond is the core of their relationship and explains Magus's protective and harsh exterior. You've finally done it. Using your secret comms and elite hacking skills, you have pinpointed the exact coordinates of the real Exaltist stronghold. It is hidden in a blind spot within the hollow that everyone else completely missed. Now you just need to get Oval Squad there without Lorenz finding out. You send a dramatic, slightly exaggerated SOS message to Yishan Shifu at Yunchu Summit for help. They use some kind of mystic arts to pull you out of Phylum Heights, and you brief them on the real threat. They agree to help, providing the powerful backup you need to act. In a hilarious turn of events, Magus, thinking you have been kidnapped by a rival faction, barges into the Yunchu Summit Temple to rescue you. This leads to a tense but funny standoff between the hot-headed captain and the supremely powerful and unbothered Yishan Shifu. With everyone finally on the same page, a new clandestine plan is formed. The intel is too critical to ignore. Magus makes the huge decision to defy Lorenz's direct orders to pursue the real threat, declaring that she will take full responsibility for going rogue. It is a major turning point for her character. Magus comes up with a clever cover story for their unsanctioned mission. She will claim that you, the proxy, escaped with classified military secrets and that Oval Squad was just chasing you into the Hollow. It is a risky plan that could land them all in a military tribunal, but they are committed. As a perfect distraction, Colonel Asalda initiates a citywide civilian evacuation plan for Phylum Heights, citing the danger of the unchecked Obscura devices. This gives Oval Squad the perfect cover to slip away unnoticed while the rest of the military is busy managing the evacuation. During the chaos of the evacuation, you get a first-hand look at the grim reality of the conflict. Porcelumax employees are seen prioritizing company assets and equipment over people's lives. It is a stark reminder of the corporate greed that has been fueling this whole crisis from the very beginning. The squad makes their way back to the Exaltist base they had cleared earlier. Your calculations have shown that a hidden fissure, a secret entrance to the real stronghold, is located right there. They literally let the enemies slip away right under their noses during the first raid. They run into Lorenz's lackey again, who has been posted as a guard in the area. To avoid a direct conflict, you stick to the cover story, claiming you are a fugitive and that Oval Squad is just there to capture you. The soldier buys it, but not before Magus threatens him, escalating the risk. Just as the tensions are about to boil over, Colonel Asalda contacts you through your secret HDD communication channel. She reveals that she knows everything about their rogue mission and fully supports Magus's decision to disobey orders, adding a layer of mystery to her motivations. The bomb finally drops. Asalda tells Magus the full, horrifying story of what happened to their old squad 11 years ago. Their commander ordered them to defend a railway line, claiming it was for evacuating civilians. They fought and died to protect it. But it was all a lie. The railway was actually a freight line being used to transport corporate assets for Porcelumax. Their comrades died so a company could save its inventory, and the corrupt commander who took the bribe and sent them to die? A younger, but just as ruthless, Colonel Lorenz. This devastating revelation completely shatters Magus. Her entire world, built on duty and honor, is turned upside down. Her rage is immense and threatens to consume her, but the squad and you are there to ground her, reminding her that they are her new family. The squad finally enters the true Exaltist stronghold, and they are immediately swarmed by hordes of enemies. It is clear that this is the real deal. They fight their way through the chaotic base, determined to stop whatever the Exaltists are planning for their so-called final sacrifice. You finally come face to face with Sarah, a high-ranking Exaltist who has been pulling strings from the shadows. She taunts you, calling you detestable in a classic villain monologue. But her speech is cut short when the squad opens fire, ready to end this once and for all. Just as they seem to have the Exaltists cornered, a massive attack is launched on Waif Peninsula. The Obscura have been activated across the city, unleashing hordes of sacrifices. It is a desperate diversion to let the leaders escape, forcing the squad to make a difficult choice. They rush back to the city to find absolute chaos. Their new, deeply ironic mission is to protect two VIPs who have been caught in the attack, Lucro and Major General Lorenz. They are now forced to save the very men who are responsible for their past tragedy and the city's current crisis. Asalda contacts Magus again, her voice now cold and distant. She reveals that Lucro has been killed in the attack. She then confirms that the mastermind behind the bribe 11 years ago was in fact Lucro, who was working directly with Lorenz to sacrifice their squad for profit. Asalda's ultimate betrayal is finally revealed. She orchestrated this entire crisis, the Exaltist attacks, the citywide chaos, all as part of an elaborate and bloody revenge scheme against Lorenz and Lucro. She pushes Magus to make a final choice: join her in vengeance or stand by her duty. The rest of the squad is horrified by Asalda's actions and her attempt to corrupt their captain. They try to reason with Magus, reminding her that they are her comrades and this dark path of revenge is not who she is. Orphe's words hit the hardest, reminding Magus that she was the one who pulled them out of their own grief. During the chaos, they encounter a young boy named Dante, whose uncle was a soldier who died in the same tragedy 11 years ago. He speaks of wanting to be a soldier who protects people, not one who hurts them. His innocent words serve as a powerful moral compass for Magus in her moment of crisis. Magus finally confronts Lorenz. He does not deny the accusations. Instead, he taunts her and threatens her squad. He is a true, unrepentant villain, admitting he did what he had to do to climb the ladder. But before Magus can act, Asalda makes her dramatic entrance. With a chilling and unforgettable line, the promise you couldn't bring yourself to keep. I kept it for you. Asalda shoots and kills Major General Lorenz right in front of everyone. Her long-awaited revenge is complete, and her transformation into a true villain is finalized. The final truth is revealed. Colonel Asalda is also Mayock, the powerful overseer of the Exaltists. She was playing both sides the entire time, using both the military and the cult for her own ends. With her revenge complete, she flees back into the Hollow to begin the final sacrifice. The final confrontation begins. The squad, now joined by the powerful mystic Yishan Shifu, follows Asalda into the heart of the Hollow. Asalda, now fully embracing her role as Mayock, taunts them, saying Magus was too weak to take the revenge that they both deserved. Magus makes her final, definitive stand. She declares herself a soldier of Obsidian Division, a citizen of New Eridu, and the captain of Oval Squad. She will not let her personal hatred put others at risk. In this moment, she chooses her duty and her found family over her personal revenge. Asalda tells Magus to turn back, saying that it is too late for her and that she is too far gone. But Magus refuses to give up on her former comrade. They engage in a final climactic battle, a heartbreaking duel between two soldiers who were once like sisters, now torn apart by tragedy and vengeance. After an intense and emotional fight, Magus and Orphe manage to defeat Asalda. In her final moments, she shows a flash of her old self, expressing her remorse and pain. She tells Magus that Orphe is a good kid and not to let her down, then seems to fade away as the miasma clears. As the crisis finally comes to an end, you have a strange and powerful vision. You see your missing teacher, Carol Ara, speaking about a mysterious creator and the gate to the final domain in a place called Hollow Zero. Her connection to the Exaltists is heavily implied, setting up a new, more personal mystery. In the aftermath, you meet with Oval Squad one last time. The truth about Lorenz and the military's corruption has been revealed, and while things are politically messy, the squad has been honored as heroes. They are given an extended vacation and say their goodbyes, promising to see you again. The final, chilling scene reveals that the threat is far from over. Sarah, the other Exaltist leader, is shown receiving the power of the Overseer from an unknown, shadowy source. She has inherited Asalda's authority, and her left hand now glows with a dark energy, ready to continue the Creator's mission.